Yeah, well, quite an interesting look at what Rarity Collection 2 brings to the table. For starting off reveals, Kong's Cards is going to have pre-sales up this afternoon. As you can see, they're currently working on them. I'm going to leave a link down below. Remember, you can use discount code MCO40 and save on everything that we're going to be talking about for the spoilers for this video. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Rarity Collection 2, starting things off here from all of the reveals. Skill Drain being in this set, I actually didn't expect to see. Kind of had a feeling that, it would eventually be, but I guess this is good news for everybody. That means that, hey, Skill Drain is one step closer to fully getting demolished out of the format. Cash in on that reprint equity, call it a day. I think everybody's okay with that, right? Trishula being in this set is also kind of interesting. I didn't expect to see that, but, this card's already got an ultimate rare. It's already got a Starlight rare. We do have the support coming down the pipeline here for it, which is going to be fine, but I think most people are going to be happy to get their hands on that. Anti-Spell being in here right after it already went to 1. Oh boy, that's a misaroo in my opinion, but whatever. At least, if you pull one, it is what it is. You also do have the Mind Control in here. I'm actually kind of happy to see Mind Control getting that love. Now, Enemy Control, or getting a quarter century, I think is a big win for people, but we just had the ultimate rares for this. So you're just destroying the value of the ultimate rare, but once again, everybody should be able to get enemy controllers, and that's a good thing. Bingo Machine Go. Now, this is actually crazy. We just had the announcement for the Blue Eyes Structure deck of all things, and Bingo Machine is receiving a reprint in here. Timing, I'm not really too sure on that one, but that's interesting to see. Next up here, speaking of reprints, the Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon also getting a huge reprint here. So that's 2 Blue Eyes cards that are getting checked off on the reprint slots. I really didn't expect to see that. Ultimate Slayer being in here is huge. RIP to the Starlight for that, but I think most of us are extremely happy to just see Ultimate Slayer doing its job in here. Apollosa getting a alt art in here. I did not see the alt art or the original art Apple or the original art IP in here. So it looks like we're just focusing on the alt arts, which is interesting. Forbidden Lance is an interesting choice in here, but the TCG really does seem like they really enjoy the chance to, take out Lance and use it for whatever format for defensive options. Book of Eclipse, every book in here is going to be interesting, but I'll take a QCR of that. Underworld Goddess, I think this is also a pretty big one for players, kind of looking down to the future. If you haven't paid attention, up until like today, Underworld Goddess was actually a decently expensive card. And the fact that, we're seeing that reprint come down on this, actually good job on the selection for that one, Konami. And then Preparation of Rites, Prep gets reprinted so much. I can't be all that excited for this one. Like, I'm sorry. As much as I want to be, it's not for me. Cool, I guess. Now, we have Twin Twisters in here. I actually quite like this a lot. Unfortunately, once again, this destroys the value of the original print, but that's fine. We don't really need to talk about that too much. Exo Sister Pax. Why in the world is Pax in here, of all things? That one definitely caught me off guard, but okay. Rafflesia also being in here, I think, is a decent reprint. I'm not going to be too upset about that. You got the amount of people in the TCG that do love Trap Tricks. Let them get their quarter century. They can enjoy it. Cosmic being in here, and MST, same thing. It's the choices of those cards that we need for the back row removal to kind of help us out. And then, of course, Abyss Dweller. That's a good one. I know a lot of people will be happy about that. And then, of course, Sol and Luna also got its way in here. I guess it makes sense with all the books being in here, but like, really? Sol and Luna? Like, that card, it never saw any play for us, but okay. Next up here, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is in the set. Absolutely looks horrendous as a super. Well, I mean, I think it looks good as a super, but Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Okay, good job, Konami. Abomination's Prison, getting the reprint here, I think was actually a big thing. A-Bomb's Prison, that means that, actually they should have had a reprint a long time ago so that people could have actually enjoyed budget-friendly Unchained, but this is coming so many months afterwards. About time. Guardian Chimera, this one's also big. To the people that picked up the Chimera stuff and wanted to play, you know, any of the little fusion decks and things that you wanted, Guardian Chimera now fits that budget bill for you to be able to do that. I'm actually about that. Raceloth getting a super rare in here, as we already knew the confirmation of the field spells. I just looking at Raceloth, but there's no Unicorn and no Fenrir, so you're still going to be spending huge amounts of money on those bigger cards, and that's an issue. Jet Dragon finding its way in here as well. Once again, to the Blue Eyes players in here, you guys are eating pretty good this set. I'm actually very, very happy about that. Number 60, Dugaris the Timeless, aka how much can you, you know, use the effects, get all the good value that you want. And of course, Mr. Hyper Librarian himself. I don't know why Hyper Librarian's in here. That one's such a weird choice on Konami's behalf, but okay, sure. Next up here, ooh, Book of Moon. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You know, those book cards that we necessarily, we kind of expected to be in here. But Book of Moon is really like, what are we doing here? Book of Eclipse, I was cool with. Book of Moon, it's already got 1,000 and control your reprints, sure. Crystal Wing, okay, we can get a quarter century of this now. Problem is though, we have the Ghost Rare for this, and I would rather have the Ghost Rare. The Alt Art IP looks stunning. I am happy we're going to have this in Ultra. You get this in whatever version that you actually want to be able to have, and you'll be able to add it to your collection. You're going to be very happy with this one. Good job, Konami. We also have Rinbroom being in here as a super. Rinbroom was what, like an $8 card, and the fact that, you know, you have the reprint for this, it's a win, but I don't know. That's a little bit iffy in my opinion. Magnifica also getting the reprint here. This should make Exosister like completely budget now. Like, this should be nail coffin to anybody that's like, hey, Exosister is expensive. No, you should be able to afford this and play this now. Phantasme, Alt Art looks fantastic as well. I'm happy I don't have to play with those ugly golds. And Pot of Duality in here should actually complete the trifecta of the pots, actually. That means that you can play all of your pots available in Quarter Century. Now, this one's quite interesting. We have Borland making its way in here. I guess this makes sense since all of the last versions of the Boral cards were available in the last set, and to all the Dragon Link players, I mean, the card won Worlds, I guess, so, you know, we can have a little bit of a shout out to that. The Rescue Rabbit twins are in here. Now, the Rescue Rabbit doesn't really have any merit to like competitive play right now, but I am happy that both the alt art and the original art are in here. This set, I think the biggest thing that you've got to remember is you want the cards in this set that honestly just were bad rarities, looking back at those ugly gold rares. Psychic End Punisher, the Quarter Century of that's going to look very nice. Super Nimble Mega Hamster. I don't want to hear a single person complain about Mega Hamster being expensive after this printing. This is a huge one for Edison. Konami actually paying attention to what Edison players actually want and have in need out here. Chaos Hunter, I didn't expect to see this one. It's not like Chaos Hunter's been an expensive card, but like the secret rare has been the one that like is the more niche on the top end of the expensive grind for sure. And then Aluber's in here. I mean, I guess this confirms that TCG's not going to get the white selection, which is actually kind of disappointing. But hey, you can have a Quarter Century Aluber to add to your collection. So I guess that's a little bit of a banger. And lastly, back here, some bangers here. We actually do have Raikou in Charge of the Light Brigade in here. QCR Raikou is going to look very nice. All right, I'm not against that at all. Also, the fact that we have Charge in here. Yes, Charge was a very expensive card up till the release of this set. Good. Hope Harbinger also getting that QCR reprint for this set, which is good. Unchained Soul of Rage makes sense. Abomination's Prison was in here for the Searcher, so we do have the Soul of Rage, so that should actually bring down the budget price of that. Heretic Heavenly Spheres, Okay, Crossout getting a reprint in here. Now, Crossout's been heading up to like $12, $15 for a little while. This should actually nail coffin that into the people that do want the higher rarities for the QCRs. You can get them now. Also, Omega is in here. I was shocked to see Omega. He just kind of popped up. And I was like, oh, okay. Also, Blue Eye Spirit Dragon's in here, which we don't have pictured here, and Coral Dragon as well. So we'll talk more about the spoiler for this set later on, or the full set list later on in the day. But that's what we're working with here. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.